The front page of The Guardian now, and the government are prepping for blackouts. Roger, this could be an exciting winter.
Yes, absolutely. A very exciting winter. And this is a Guardian exclusive, and it's The Guardian doing what it does best, which is joyfully predicting a Tory-induced apocalypse and calamity.
Warming its hands over the candles of the nation's woe.
Absolutely. Unsurprisingly and uncontentiously, really, they show that ministers will prioritise getting food, water and shelter to the young and elderly people, as well as those with caring responsibilities if the country experiences blackouts, with the Met Office warning that Britain faces a higher risk of a cold winter. These are entirely responsible war games. Of course they are, in any situation.
And in fact, they predate the invasion of Ukraine, don't they?
So, and it's entirely appropriate, although they are apparently being shock-tested and newly rehearsed as a consequence of the current situation. But it does highlight what is undoubtedly a serious issue, which is that the price issue, the cost of energy, which is, of course, what's framed the debate thus far, is generated by the scarcity of supply, which is something which has been addressed in other countries, and I rather suspect not here.
Well, the very fact that Truss's first thing, one punch she landed was to essentially eliminate the possibility that the price might dampen the
characteristic cheery, sunny approach tonight.
Yes, we'll make it free. That sort of thing.
Absolutely, which is preposterous. Whereas, of course, in Europe, they're switching off, as I understand it. They're switching off street lighting at certain times, therefore reducing, obviously, consumption, which makes such a lot of sense, doesn't it?
I mean, warmer. Street lighting in Greece.
Yeah, that's right. I think the cold is going to be a more... I mean, we always call it blackouts, but it's actually warm-outs that you've got to worry about.
Well, and this is the thing. We've had I think it might have been the warmest October this year.
Yeah.
And, so people...
Consumption is well down, consequently.
Consumption is well down. And this is because of climate change. Climate change has made us warmer, so we're less dependent on fossil fuels. We're beating Putin. Is there anything climate change can do?
I said years ago, it was on a BBC panel game, that I said Putin had underestimated the extent to which global warming had reduced Russia's great joker, which was always the cold winters. They would always play on that.
As a thought exercise, it's worth imagining, isn't it, what would happen without any kind of government underpinning or capping of the price, and that would, of course, induce mass insulation programmes and economy of consumption, which would reduce the risk of such blackouts, the sort of blackouts we're talking about.
Well, they've had... I mean, it does prove, I'm afraid, the core proposition, which is that meddling, social engineering, hardly ever works. It delivers short-term benefits.
Adverse consequences, which are, of course, unintended but unknown.
Also, the solution... So they're going to prioritise energy to young people and old people. I understand getting it to old people. They probably fought in a war, all right, or they watched it on...
young people and Nesh, they couldn't cope with the reduction in the...
We're in this problem because of young people. All these Greta Thunberg's being like, we need to give net zero. We need to stop developing our energy sources. Man, we should be burning young people. We should cut them open like a tauntaun in Star Wars and climb inside to stay warm.
Young people have all got big, thick puffer jackets.
Exactly.
And woolly hats that they pull down over their silly faces.
But this could bring the nation together, though, couldn't it? The images it creates would bring the nation together in a rather heartwarming
3 generations all coming back to live in the same household, snuggling up under a blanket.
Candles, and it might, of course, induce another decade of Thatcherism. Who knows?
This from the Independent might increase the child generation rate as well, of course, which is something that the country desperately needs.